Super funny, actually.
Hey,
Look, you can share your screen now.
we're live.
Did you see that? Hey,
Oh,
everybody.
That's neat.
That's really good to know. Welcome.
That is good to know.
It's been so long. There's new features on our live stream, and we didn't even know it. So
They don't give you the chance to learn these things before you start. You just have to do a live and you figure it out.
You can't even see yourself. So, like, I know we look amazing, but that was just like dumb luck.
Well, that just happened that way.
Yeah,
so
that was just because we couldn't see ourselves until we went live. And if you're watching the replay, welcome back. I know that's kind of a weird way to start, where I'm like, look at this feature.
I know. We assume that everyone's just here with us from the very beginning, but we know you're not. So welcome to our video. For those of you that are with us live, hello. Feel free to chat or comment on the side here if you're watching it live. We want to hear from you and know that you're there and you're happy and excited and super stoked to be here.
Yeah, and we are in a new location in our house, because when we were doing these before, oh, hi, Sarah. Yes, and Lindsay. Good to see you guys.
We are coming back.
We're in a new location, and there's a hallway right here, since this is a one-room house, it feels like.
Mm-hmm.
But this was never done when we were doing it in the summer.
Was it?
No, this was all done in the fall.
Oh, okay, sweet.
So
good for us.
In a new location.
We're doing so good.
And we're sitting on a couch instead of on chairs, so it's nice for us.
Well, a couch is a kind of chair, though, if you think about it.
You're right.
Yeah.
So, I need to think a little bit more about that. Yeah. Thank you, Mike.
Consider those things.
We've got, thank you.
We should say hi. Sarah Walsh.
Lindsay, Kathy, Shannon, Shelly, Ginger. We got people in New Mexico, Arizona, Utah.
Elk Ridge, Utah.
England, Nancy.
Whoa.
Wow.
She's up
I was going to say, like, we have the Mountain West represented.
Because of the time.
But now we have England as well, which it is very late, like 3 a.m, isn't it, Nancy?
Nancy, how are you even awake right now? You should be in bed.
Thank you, Kathy. Like, we literally filmed that, like, some of those shots today, because, like, that's why I'm in my sweats, because I am.
Megan's done.
It's 9 p.m. I already took my bath. I'm in my sweats. I had pearl braid my hair because it was like this. I was like the mom in Rugrats, maybe. Anyways.
I've never seen that show.
My wavy hair after a bath.
And I took a shower, dried off, redid my hair, redressed, and this is the way I look now.
Oh, okay.
That's
Thank you.
Not
Minnesota. So we got Christina in Kentucky and Ray in Minnesota.
Man.
Welcome back, guys. We missed you too. We did this until September.
October actually was the last one I looked. Yeah.
Then we had the ghost walk. And that was like a crazy, ghostly whirlwind.
We were doing like
it was a million.
8 tours a week, I think.
Were we really?
Height. We were doing like 2 a night.
Andrew set this ghost tour up, and he was like, "Oh, you guys, please take over, because there's like the demand is so high." And he was right. The demand was incredibly high, and it was a crazy whirlwind. It was fun, but everything else kind of went on hold. So we haven't seen you in a while. We're happy to be back.
Yeah. Whoa, PRDSJ family from Australia.
Down under.
Sweet.
Yeah. And Orlando. Thank you so much, Rebecca.
She's probably going to request you never say the word down under again. I mean, with your amazing Australian accent. I mean,
let's hear yours.
I'm not. I won't embarrass myself.
Don't say anything about mine. No, I'm not good at accents. When we were in England, we were like, we're going to do an English accent the whole time, but we were all too embarrassed. We were terrible at it.
We are. Doesn't matter. We're Americans.
We're terrible.
Never say down. She never said.
Well, I know you don't say down under, but.
I think it was the guy from Crocodile Dundee. I think somehow it was made famous from a commercial he was in advertising for Australia. Little known fact. That's where Put Another Shrimp on the Barbie actually.
Did it really?
Yes, I believe it did. From those, it was like an ad campaign to go to Australia.
I think I remember that commercial.
Paul Hogan, most famous Australian out there, aside from Hugh Jackman and
Nicole Kidman,
and the crocodile guy,
and Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe, is he Australian?
I believe so.
I hope not.
Why?
I don't know.
No,
I just said that.
Mike's random humor. Welcome back, guys.
Yeah.
So, we were like, once the new year starts, so we are, looks like 3 weeks into the new year, a little over 3 weeks. So
that's how we roll.
Yeah.
On a 3 week
We got
delay.
here though. We got here in sweats.
T-shirts.
But we got here.
So what we're gonna do, we're gonna be doing these. We're calling out these wellness workshops, And the plan is to do them with somewhat of a regularity. Again,
Mike likes being regular.
I do. I love being regular as much as I can be. And so we're not sure exactly what the regularity is going to be. We're not ready to commit to anything yet, but we want to do these weekly or bi-weekly, and also some different topics depending on the week.
Yeah.
Or different types of workshops.
Yeah. Sorry that I'm yawning on my own workshop.
Megan's going to be yawning quite a bit, so just be prepared. Anyway, so we'll announce here. So keep an eye on the social part of this channel where we can post things. We'll probably post what that's going to be, and then we'll also announce when they're coming up. So just keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
And then if you have any questions, if you're watching this live, obviously you can ask questions here on the live chat. If you're watching this after the fact, comment. We get notifications when comments come through, and we will do our best to get back to you as soon as we can to answer your questions, because we all have questions, and that's fine. We encourage questions. Questions are good. Just no dumb questions, please. That's all I ask. There are dumb questions.
Well, kids will.
But you're not going to ask any of them.
I don't know. I just want to, before we get started, I'm going to address what Mike said. I have a little bit of a soapbox issue in there are no dumb questions. I know that's a really helpful thing for a teacher to say, to encourage kids to ask questions. But as a parent,
does this have anything to do with the oils?
No, I have learned that there are some really dumb questions. When you're like lifting a sandwich to your mouth and like taking the second bite, and your kid's watching you, and then they're like, "So are you eating a sandwich?" And you're like,
our kids have never done that.
They do those sort of questions all the time. That's a dumb question. And I'm like, I think so. I am. What do you think?
Just pay attention.
Okay.
Stay strong.
Okay.
Oh, we already have a question. Do we want to?
Well, Shelly wants to know what's the best oil to help relieve super overwhelmed feelings. Actually, she said it cuter than that. What's the best help relieve super overwhelmed feelings oil?
Wow.
You seem to stay totally calm even amid crazy renovations and missionaries and all of the kids and life. I mean, we are absolutely blessed by our oils. I can go. I mean, do we want to just answer that question right now?
Yes.
Okay.
There's
I
no
guess
time
we
like the present.
did it. I think there are several oils that are really good for calming, and I kind of rotate between them. I will go grab the one. I'm going to leave you here.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to go grab the one that I've been making Mike like roll on my back at night, because I have been feeling stressed with the holidays and just like I'm not sleeping as well. I think there's a little bit of a hormonal component. So I'll be right back.
So also we want to be, I guess, clear. We, as a big family and as a family in the middle of renovation and trying to operate businesses on top of that, we get stressed plenty. And so it's not like we don't have that happen to us. We certainly do. We don't really show it on the channel, but there are ways to deal with it. But don't think that we don't ever get stressed and aren't in a bad mood and don't that stress doesn't come out in those ways. It does for sure. Anyways, because I think sometimes when people watch the channel, they think, "Oh, you're so level-headed about everything." It's like, no, I mean, we don't have drama on the channel. We keep that off screen. We have our drama over here.
We don't have much drama. I think it helps that we have as many kids as we do, and we've traveled the world with them, lived in an RV with them, travel is very stressful, and so I think we've gotten used to stress as a feeling. Mm-hmm. So we do manage it a little bit better. So
yeah.
It's not like behind the scenes we're a total disaster.
No, we're not. We're a happy family.
Okay, so this is the oil that I've been loving lately. This comes from the kids collection.
There's a cat hair on it. I'll get that off.
I really like this one lately. It's very the kids collection oils are diluted so that they don't bother any sort of sensitive skin or your kids, they're not too cold or too spicy. And the smells aren't too intense. But I don't know. I kind of go there. I mean, any oil that's got lavender in it or other calming oils like lavender, citrus oils, those are all really good for calming the mind and the body. This one has in it lavender.
You need help reading?
Kananga, Buddha wood,
Kananga oil,
and Roman chamomile. And I will feel my stress in my back. And so I'll have Mike just roll this on my back and just kind of rub it in. I will also put it on the bottom of my feet or on my forehead, on my hands. on the back of my neck.
You're like, here, put some on right now.
Everywhere. No, it smells. I don't know. Sometimes you want a new one. I use Serenity oil. That's a great blend. I use Balance. I use Citrus Bliss. I will put Citrus Bliss on my pillow at night to help me stay calm and help me fall asleep. That's a blend of citrus oils with a little bit of vanilla. So it is like orange dreamsicle. It smells amazing.
Yes.
Yes. And so that one I use a lot. I also, there are so many oils that are great for calming. And we've done a class on that before on here, and we will continue to talk about that for sure. Well,
because I think something we realized, or I guess you remember that how much we rely on our oils for mood, just for that, and how that is a constant struggle for most people in the world. When the world we live in is stressful, there's a lot going on, and just it's hard. And we also feel like people tend to be a little over medicated as far as the pharmaceutical world goes.
It's not always as effective.
And it's not as effective, really. I don't think so. So oils are an amazing source for dealing with some of those things, and not going
stabilizing your mood,
to medications. Not that we're not going to say that you should never do that, but it can be a great alternative, or it can just be another tool in your toolbox for dealing with that stuff.
Yeah. And speaking of which, our friends down in Australia, the PRDSJ family, she talked about, I'm saying she, we have no idea.
We assume you're a woman.
Yeah. Do you have any pain relief essential oil for like a broken shoulder? Yes. A great oil that I would start with when you want to manage your pain in your body is Copaiba oil. After I had surgery on my hip I had melanoma.
Copaiba.
I had a lot of pain when you have surgery, you just feel a lot of pain in your body. And Copaiba oil, or Copaiba, a lot of people will say, it is very chemically and closely related to, what is it? CBD oil, marijuana. I was trying to think of the nicer name for marijuana. Cannabis oil, but not with the chemical compounds in there that would give you a high, just the pain. So it's got,
and also you won't fail a drug test.
Yes. And so it has really high levels of those pain relieving compounds. And so I love Copaiba oil. I put it under my tongue or in a capsule, along with any other remedies that you're using. And I've really enjoyed that. Also, there are oils that you can use on the spot to help relieve, like maybe because of the broken shoulder, you're having a lot of muscle tension and the like. That would be like your past tense roll on or your deep blue.
Deep blue I use for pain, for any pain.
Yep. Hello, Barbara and Amy asked if we're just going to spend the whole night answering questions. Obviously, there's some pent up need here. Any suggestions? Are bedtime easier with kids? Absolutely. Oils make bedtime easier. No doubt about it. I remember one of the first things I felt was I wish I had these sooner as a mom. We had them when we didn't have any babies when we started using oils. We only had toddlers and above. But putting a little bit of lavender and wild orange on my kids' hands or pillow right before they went to bed was incredibly helpful. I was always really amazed at how much their fear levels went down at bedtime when I gave them wild orange or citrus bliss.
Yeah.
It is really hard to be afraid when you smell something as sweet as wild orange oil or as citrus bliss oil. And it just helped keep them really calm. It was like playing Christmas music or something. It was just very, very soothing for them. And I had a lot of kids that had a lot of anxious feelings at bedtime. So 100%. Sometimes I would add a lavender-based oil like Serenity or just lavender itself to the tub. Just like one drop, I would put it on my hand and put it in the water at their bath time at the end of the day. But putting a little bit on their hands, put a drop of each on each hand, have them rub it together, smell it, and then have them put it on their own pillow is a great way to use the oil. Unless you have somebody who rubs their eyes a lot. And so then you can, with your own hand, put it on the back of their neck, and then you rub your hand on their pillow afterwards. So it's not too strong.
We probably should mention it's not summertime, at least not for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere. But if you put wild orange or any citrus oil on your skin, it will make your skin sensitive to the sun, so you'll burn very easily. So if your child is going out to the beach the next day, do not put
or just in the backyard.
Citrus oils on
Well,
their neck.
so you can put it on your hands. The palm of your hand is
Yeah.
fine. But so put it on the pillow. That's
right.
fine.
Just don't put it directly on
Yeah.
the skin that's going to see sun.
That's right. Any suggestions for a scratchy throat and a drippy nose that with your oils? Yes, there are oils for everything. There are plants that help solve every problem. So I'm going to answer this one, and then I'm going to come back to some of these questions because I want to teach you just the basics.
Yeah, we've jumped ahead, and because maybe those asking the questions kind of understand what essential oils are, and so it's not a big deal.
So I think if you make like some warm water or hot water mixed with maybe a little bit of honey, as many people do when they have a scratchy throat, and put a drop or two of lemon oil in there, that is very soothing for the throat. Another that I found that tastes terrible but is very, very soothing for a sore throat is Melaleuca oil or tea tree oil. You're never going to be able to do this with your kids. You're never. So I would go the lemon oil route. But for yourself, if you are willing to, and you put a little like tea tree on like your longest finger, you can rub it back there if you don't have a high gag reflex, or you could drip it right back there. It is so soothing. Or you could gargle it in maybe some salt water, warm salt water. It is so soothing. It tastes so terrible. I mean, if you smelled tea tree oil, it tastes like that, but worse. But it is really, really effective, and also has all of its other benefits of helping you maybe get healthy quicker. Okay.
All right. We're going to hold there. We'll come back to some of these questions after we kind of back up and go over some of the basic stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. PRDSJ is a mom. So
all right.
We assume that because it is typically the moms in the household that are doing the healthcare, that just kind of comes more naturally to the mom as she nurtures her kids and husband.
And historically, that's been the way it was.
Women were the ones that were gathering the plants and making the poultices and putting an onion on your ear, those sort of things. So
is that why my mom did it?
Oh, yes. Sarah said, I don't know, Cadam Girl. I've never heard of that one, but vetiver and chamomile are great for sleep too. Yes. Yes, I have used vetiver as well. It's just very grounding. And Roman chamomile is in the blend that I just used for stress, and I think it is also in Serenity, but I will use Roman chamomile. I have like a bunch of oils that I know are very calming because of my app.
Oh yeah, we always show up the app. And then we'll go over this stuff.
So I have this. It's a great book, Modern Essentials, but they also have an app. It's $4, a one-time fee. It's not from doTERRA. It's just another company. And if you look up like relaxation or stress or whatever, it'll tell you oils. And so I kind of know what oils are like that. And I'll just kind of pull out whichever ones I have right in front of me, and I'll smell them. And if I'm like, I'll find another one. And there will be one that really speaks to me a little bit more, and I use that. So I kind of rotate through mine. But if you only have like 3 oils, there's a good chance that it's going to affect your stress levels that are going to help, because plant oils smell good. They're aromatic compounds that often smell good. So I imagine you're going to have lemon oil or orange oil or lavender oil, and all of those are great for reducing stress. Yeah. Okay.
And if you wonder why doTERRA doesn't have an app like that, it's because...
I see.
What?
I'm like, I've never heard of Cadam Girl oil. Cadam Girl is someone's name. And Sarah was responding to her saying Cadam Girl, vetiver and chamomile. I'm like, I've never heard of Cadam Girl oil, but that's interesting. I'll have to look into that.
It's one of the... That's funny. So the reason people will sometimes wonder why doTERRA doesn't have an app like this for their oils, and it's because there are certain governing bodies in the U.S. and in most countries that do not allow companies like doTERRA to make medical claims about their products if they haven't jumped through certain hoops as far as studies and all that sort of thing. And so
you have the group that makes and distributes oils, and then you have the group that tells you how to use oils.
Right. And so that's why we have to be careful about what we say, because when you're selling them, you're not allowed to make certain medical claims.
Yeah.
So if we speak sort of vaguely about certain things, that's why.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Okay, well, let's talk about a little bit about healthcare in the United States, but I think also around the world. I want to first say that I'm very grateful for modern medicine for so many reasons. I have my grandma, my sister, my mom have done a lot of like family history, compiling a family history and family stories. And so it's very easy for me to look back and see. I was just talking about my great grandmother a couple nights ago who lost her oldest little boy when he was 3 years old to a very, I think we don't even know, but it was something that he wouldn't have died of now because of modern medicine and how devastated she was. So I'm very grateful for the blessings of modern medicine and the strides that have made in medicine. But I also am aware of a lot of the shortcomings of the way that we treat things now, and of kind of how modern medicine and all the amazing scientific discoveries have maybe been a little bit infiltrated to a certain degree by people making a business out of it. I'm trying to say there's definitely a lot of for-profit medicine now, and maybe it's not always in the best interest of the individual. And so you do have to be a very discerning
consumer.
Yes, consumer of modern medicine. And so that's why we love essential oils, because we are able to do a lot of preventative healthcare at home, but also have some proactive medical care at home as well, because we have just a basic understanding of plants that help and that are medicinal. And so we take care of, I would say, 98% of our medical needs at home on our own.
Yeah, without having to we rarely go to the doctor, but prescriptions.
So we still go
every once in a while.
Yes, we still go and we get things that are very helpful.
Yeah.
But most of the time, I'm happy to report that we don't have to. And so that's just how we roll. And I think that it's not only helpful for independence, but it's also helpful for health.
Right.
Because
you can become dependent on.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of things that can happen where there may be some unintended consequences or side effects of the things that you're on. I think some of the time, because they're created in a lab, our kind of normal way that we take care of with medicine, they don't always work with our bodies as well or as seamlessly, and so they create side effects.
Right.
And so that aren't always very helpful. And I really love that we can depend more on the natural side of things. Because like I said, sometimes we'll be using an oil for one thing, like it soothes our sore throat, but it's also supporting our immune function. And so it has a side benefit. And also because it's natural, there are things that are natural that aren't great for you, like pepper spray is natural. That doesn't mean it's, a really enjoyable experience to get sprayed in the face with it. It has side effects as well. But if you have a basic understanding, you have resources like this app, you can take care of so many things at home and you don't have to worry. People have used essential oils for thousands of years. And so we have a really good, strong, easy to digest web of information on
Was that a pun
essential
on
oils.
Purpose?
No.
Your body can digest it easily?
I mean, yes, your information, so I don't want anybody to feel like, well, what if this oil would burn? There's so much information out there that we usually don't, most of the essential oil world we don't use the oils that are kind of iffy, that might burn you if you don't use them just right. I mean, we just don't use those. The oils that are really safe and effective are the ones that we use.
Right.
So there's a lot of things that you can address with essential oils. We've talked about a few of them. We've talked about, I guess we would say respiratory issues, immune function issues, sleep issues, mental, emotional issues, but there's digestive stuff, there's respiratory stuff, there's hair and skin stuff, and we use essential oils for all of those things in our household. And I think some of you at home do too, because some of you are not new to oils. You've been using oils for a while too.
Right.
So
that's, I think that's, when it comes, I think people ask, why essential oils? Why is that something that we care so much about, or why should I care? It's because it's an effective way to deal with some of these issues without going to the doctor or the store for what's coming across the counter.
Yeah. And so even though we're holding some of the questions just on like, what would you use for this? If you have any questions about what we're talking about or comments,
feel free.
You can interject. So this is more of a conversation.
Yeah.
You want to say something?
No,
would you like to say something?
I'm just here. I'm just a sidekick. I don't mind.
Okay. I wanted to really quick. Christina asked, can doTERRA oils be used in handmade soaps? Yes, I have made soap with doTERRA oils.
We should probably talk about why doTERRA is a little bit different than, I mean, that's not necessarily a short answer, but
yeah, you can definitely use your oils in handmade soaps. I've done that. It's great. So that's the answer to that question.
okay. Did you want to talk about, though, like doTERRA, why they're a little different or why they're
Yeah,
the
and
best?
we did a whole live stream on that, but I will always talk about it because I love the fact that doTERRA sources their oils very differently than really any other company that I know of.
Right.
There's a few things that are important if you are going to have an effective oil and a safe oil. One, that oil needs to be effective. You can have lavender in your yard, and you could make it into an oil if you had all of the equipment. But that lavender would probably be very different chemically than a lavender coming from Western Europe. In certain parts, in certain perfect climates, there's just certain places where plants are indigenous to, where they grow and become chemically way more potent, and they have the right levels of certain compounds in them, so that that lavender will definitely have the levels of things that you would need to help you with these different issues. And so lavender grown in my yard could be pretty and aromatic, but it probably isn't going to be quite as effective as lavender grown in its indigenous state. And so doTERRA first is going to look at every place that it is grown. We're going to test the oil that's coming out of those places from those farms, and it's typically coming from the places where these plants are native to, where they're indigenous to. And so our oils, first of all, are sourced from all over the world. Second of all, like I already kind of mentioned, our oils are always tested. Every batch of oil is tested. We didn't just test one time and say they make good oils, we'll buy from them.
Wait, what that means is the doTERRA works with the growers and the distillers, but they're shipping it to them from all over the world, and they test it to make sure that what's in the bottle is what they agreed to. Like they test it as it comes in.
Yeah, and
these aren't doTERRA's farms. They don't own the whole process from start to finish.
And I'll mention why that's a good thing in just a minute. But the testing is not only to make sure that it's not adulterated. I mean, I think they have farms they work with and they trust, but also that they were harvested correctly. Because if you harvest something even a couple of weeks too early, those chemical compounds, the things that we're relying on to be medicinal, are going to be at totally different levels. And so they need to make sure that nothing is going wrong there, that they're getting, so that every time you use your oil, it's potent and it's effective, and you can rely on it. And now that we've been using doTERRA for about 13 years now, we have seen that. We're like, this one's just a bunk. It's a dud. It's not like that, right? There's a little bit sometimes difference, and you'll be able to tell, like, this is a spring lavender versus a fall lavender. I think spring is a little sweeter, but medicinally, it still has the same compounds that you need at those levels. Second of all, Mike mentioned we don't have our own farms, because we would have to have ridiculous amounts of farmland all over the world to make that work. Also, what's great about that is they don't go and seek out the fair trade label, but doTERRA is buying directly from farmers. We go and if we're getting oils from a certain region, we make sure we're going right to the farmers. There's no middleman, because when there's middlemen, they are getting a little bit of the profit, and that means the people who are doing all the work to grow and distill those oils are getting less. Also means you have less control over, like, when you're getting the oils, like, this isn't what we thought it was. You need to be able to go directly to the farmers, right? And then what's awesome about that is that we don't go with these huge super scale farms. doTERRA likes to work with small scale farmers and just have more of them to support local economies. And so what's so awesome about it, I remember back in the day when we were first buying rose oil from Bulgaria, there were families there that had farmland that hadn't literally been used in decades, because they couldn't compete now that the world is more of a world economy, and grain and things are just being shipped all around the world. And so their fields were just dormant. And so suddenly they're like, oh my goodness, there's this essential oil company that is now buying rose oil from Bulgaria because it's really potent from here. And so these families that used to be farmers for generations were able to start using their family farms again and producing rose oil for doTERRA. So once we get a really good farmer that we trust, we sign a what is it?
Non-compete or
Not compete, but
exclusivity. That's what it is,
exclusivity.
yeah.
And so somebody might say to you, "Oh, this is the same oil that doTERRA uses." It's not. Almost every single one of our oils, we have exclusivity contracts with our farmers. So we get these amazing farmers, we teach them, we train them, we test their oils until they're perfect, and then we say, "Hey, we will take care of you, you take care of us, and only sell to us." And so that's really how we have the best oils in the world.
Yeah.
And then we have all of these great, happy farmers and a beautiful farmland that's organic,
Well,
without pesticides and without all terrible
yeah.
things going on. Now, all over the world, all
And
over the world.
that's what's cool. Like, I mean, like a bottle of lemon oil, like this represents a real farmer, a person
in
in
Italy.
Italy who grows the lemons and processes and produces his oil and sends it to doTERRA. This is an actual like family-owned farm here.
There's a bunch of family-owned farms, really.
And so I don't know. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I feel really, really, really like loyal to doTERRA, and I feel really proud to work with them. I believe in essential oils, but I believe in doTERRA. I won't say equally, but I'm really proud that when I share oils with you guys and you use doTERRA's oils, that we're literally making the world better.
Right.
There's more farmland, and that farmland is farmed correctly. Doesn't have pesticides and herbicides. It also doesn't have we're not over farming, because sustainability is really important to doTERRA. They want to make sure that you can keep producing the amount of oils you're producing for 100 years or
right.
more.
If we need more, we just bring on more farmers.
Yes.
We don't actually demand more from the same land,
Mhm.
essentially.
And so that's really important to doTERRA. When we go to our conventions every year, they kind of give us a report on that, and it's really, really gratifying. And so you can feel good too, that your oils are representing like thousands of farmers, especially in places in Africa that just the industry and the economy is not super healthy, that we've been able to go in. And most of our farmers in like Africa and these parts of the world where we're bringing in these oils have less than 5 acres of land. So we have like literally thousands of them, of these family farms who are changing the world. So that was kind of just something you can feel really good about. So let's talk about something else you can feel good about.
Okay.
That we have our modern approach to medicine that is Western medicine based, where you're maybe trying to manage symptoms. You go into the lab and they create these synthetic compounds to manage your symptoms, but they don't address root causes, and they don't and then they cause other symptoms. As I watch my parents age and they go to the doctor, I'm always trying to help them maybe pull back from adding new things to their little boxes that they take every day,
pill boxes.
and saying, I think we can probably manage that more naturally. And so the alternative approach, or I guess the approach that you can add into that, is to address those same needs, those same symptoms that we've talked about a few tonight. Maybe some anxious feelings at bed, or an itchy, drippy nose, an itchy throat, but also address root causes. And we have seen this time and time again in our own family, and as we've helped other people with oils, that we're treating the symptoms and these issues that we're having, but then the root cause is diminishing all of the time until we don't need those oils as much, and we don't have to rely on them as much. And it's sometimes I have been incredibly impressed at the level of that happening. One of our children came home and had chronic ear problems. I think we've mentioned that. And constant, where the eardrum would pop, and I can't say what it is, but I think you can all infer. And so they were just being overloaded or recommended lots of antibiotics.
Yeah.
Which we're so grateful for antibiotics. That's probably would have saved my grandma's brother, right, when he was a little boy. But the overuse of them is also a problem. We've heard a lot about that in the last few years. And so we were able to treat that chronic, the symptoms of that, but also make it so that it didn't happen anymore.
Yeah.
She stopped getting them. And so that's really powerful and really quite life-changing and hopeful, really, really hopeful. And so that's exciting. So
it's a different way of approaching it.
Yes. And so,
yeah.
Hello from Virginia, Karen.
Who joined us?
Tim,
Michelle from Texas.
That's actually Heidi. Welcome back. Lindsay asks, is it true that when pesticides are sprayed on plants used for oils, the pesticides are compounded as well, like more harmful? Yes, you can't, the pesticides are going to come through into your oils, and they're going to be, I don't know at what level, but
They're on
the
the plant,
whole point
so.
is to have a natural approach. And so you don't want to be putting these synthetic chemical compounds on with your oils. And that's very, very common. It's very, very tempting for these farmers. Also very tempting for farmers, producers to use chemicals to strip more oils from their plants. But
Right.
those chemicals also come through with the oil. And so sometimes you go to the grocery store and they have their little oils section. You smell the oils, you're like, oh, that smells very different than the oil I'm used to. It might be because it's not the thing it purports to be, but it also might be because it's got all of these other things adulterating that oil, and making it no longer natural or safe or effective. So you do really want to have pure tested oils.
Right.
Oh, the least of these says she's allergic to pesticides and they've given her many autoimmune disorders. I think we're all aware that there are health things going on now that never really happened before. And like you start to say, like, I don't think all of these solutions that we've been given, both for healthcare, but also in our food, we're these nutrition charts that they show us what we're supposed to eat. It's like, we are not healthier. So maybe we need to go back to grandma's wisdom, and essential oils are grandmother's wisdom.
Or maybe great grandmas.
Yeah, or great grandmothers. They never stopped using them in like France and some of those places. But any sort of medicinal plant, you may be talking about a tea or a tincture, but we're really talking about the oils.
Right.
Because it is those compounds that are medicinal on the plant. But when you have an oil, it's way, way, way more concentrated than if you were to make a tea, because you're going to lose a lot of the oil in the drying, or like a tincture. You're concentrating it down so you only have to use 1 or 2 drops at a time. Yes, PRDSJ family is a believer in natural products. I am too. And every day I become more and more and more of a believer, and more grateful that I have had these solutions. Just as I see people that are around me aging and their children growing up, and I'm so grateful that we have had these. In fact, Esther was telling us she's serving as a missionary and that everybody comes to her for oils. She's like the little oil lady and helps everybody.
Ray has a question.
So yeah, I will. I want to answer your questions right now.
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, didn't we already skip some though?
Well, we answered the one about soaps.
Okay.
And
okay.
Vetiver.
So,
yeah.
Ray is asking, my adult daughter has had a cold for several days, and her biggest complaint is ear pressure and ear discomfort. What a FDA compliant question. Thank you. Suggestions for relief. Yes, I would start with some tea tree oil around right here, right along here and here, and maybe
drops,
along her jawline.
Just rub it in.
Also, I would take a cotton ball and kind of take it so you have about 1/3 of that cotton ball and roll a little bit.
Ooh, even less than that.
Put
really.
1 drop on there. You don't want the drop touching the skin. You want to put it
in touching the inside of the ear.
Yeah, so you want to put it in so that the drop is just kind of out in the open, because essential oils are very light compounds. And so it will actually kind of lift off and create this little chamber of tea tree oil right in there around her eardrum. And so you don't want it on the skin in there because that is very sensitive. We've done that.
That would hurt.
I mean, it works, but it's spicy in there.
Did Andrew once upon a time.
Yeah, we did. But boy, did he get better really quick.
He was little.
And so that's what we do for that. That's what I would do. Christina said, which oils would you suggest for respiratory issues and the best way to administer? I would use our blend called Breathe Oil. I have some right here. And I'm going to show you how I would use it.
Oh my gosh, that's almost empty.
That is. I'm going to take our Breathe Oil. You can obviously rub it on the chest and on the neck, but I think the best way to really get it down in there is to first have some in the bottle. Okay.
You got some out?
Can you see that I have some on my hand? No,
yeah,
you can't. Oh, there you can. You can't see it.
Okay, after Megan's done, I'm going to show you a cool trick.
Okay, I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to go like this, and then I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to put it together, and what have I got? I'm not trying to create it tight. I'm trying to create a little bit airflow through there, so that I've just talked about how those particles are so small, they'll lift right off into the air. That's why you smell them. But I'm going to go like this, because I want them to lift off into the air and then into my lungs. And it's totally legal. I always feel like I'm doing. I haven't ever smoked anything, but I've seen movies. I always feel like I'm doing.
I've
something
heard
like
tell.
that.
It's right down in there.
Yeah, that, and I have seen that help with symptoms and root causes.
There you go.
Yes.
Also, if you're getting low on your oil, the bottle, the little orifice here, you can pop these out. I
You're
say
gonna
that. Look, they come right out. I don't know where to put
So
this.
you can use the last
So you
5
can use the
drops or
last
so.
like few drops that are in there really easy. Same with the roller bottles. You can just pop those out and then get more out if you need it.
Yeah.
Not that anyone needs to know that.
What helps to heat rashes? I think Roberta's asking heel rashes. The most soothing oils for the
Or
skin.
for heat rashes.
I think you're asking for, yeah, you'll have to specify, but for soothing your skin is lavender oil. I like to make a salve with some raw coconut oil. You get it warm so it's liquid. You know, you can do that in a double boiler or even in your hand, and add some lavender oil to that and some tea tree oil, and then use that as your lotion. I've recently heard about the amazing effects of beef tallow.
Heat rash.
Okay. Beef tallow.
Hey, that's not an essential oil.
I know, but you could add oils
Oh,
to beef
okay.
tallow because I've heard that's very
Beef
nourishing. I know. I need to look into it, but
We
I've
we
been
should-
hearing it
We should
in
do some
the-
more
in
Googling on
the
that.
ether. Roberta asked heat rash. Wow.
That's a good question.
Yeah,
That's very
let's use the
specific.
app.
I'm gonna look that up.
I mean, I can think that, I don't know.
See what-
Peppermint oil, maybe?
Let's see what it says.
Okay, so
I'll look it up while
we
Megan-
talked about,
Megan
there's like,
keeps
so
talking.
we talked about there's the different ways, right? That instead of just treating the symptoms with, you know, unnatural, we got the natural where we're addressing those, but the root cause. But also there's so much that you can do preventatively. So you don't ever have to take it to the medical level. Like just taking care of yourself every day with a little bit of oil is going to do a lot of preventative work for you and help keep your systems in balance so that you don't have to deal with those other things. We're talking about things when they're now into the proactive healthcare or medical care side, which oils are great at. But so many things can be done just by daily using your oils to keep your systems in balance and alignment.
There's a lot of different types of rashes. Heat rash isn't actually listed here as one of those, but in general for rashes, did you say tea tree already?
I didn't, but that's great.
Tea tree and spikenard topically, so you just put it on the location. You should also remember you can dilute with, did you already say this? I wasn't listening.
I was talking about raw coconut oil. But
Fractionated coconut oil.
doTERRA sells fractionated coconut oil. And I'll tell you in just a sec, Arthea.
Yes.
What's great about fractionated coconut oil, and we use that more than raw, is that it doesn't have a smell. It absorbs very quickly.
More quickly.
And it doesn't leave you greasy.
Right.
It out of all of the carrier oils, it is the least greasy. So you're
Mhm.
not gonna like go out of the house like all shiny and weird or slippery.
You don't want to be shiny and weird.
But
believe
what
me.
fractionated coconut
My
oils is
life.
you're applying heat and pressure to raw coconut oil, and it kind of breaks down those bonds. So now it's liquid. It's also very light, and I love that. You can use it internally. I use it very, very often. Very often.
Here, this is what it looks like.
Yeah.
Whoa. ME plus. You see that?
Mm-hmm. I like that I need to like look at
Yeah,
the
you're like
screen.
looking around at it. ME plus. That is the app. It's like, I think Megan said it's like $4 one time you pay for it, and they're always updating it. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
And it's very specific, I think, to doTERRA's products. So when doTERRA's new products come online, they end up in here.
Okay, so Rebecca, welcome. She has never used essential oils. Well, I am so excited for you.
We have a newbie here.
Yes. What oil is good for sleep? We've talked about a few of them tonight, so if you missed the beginning, you might want to go listen to that again. But lavender oil is just a super basic, common oil, but it's got amazing chemical complexity. So it is really great for so many things, including calming you down and helping you sleep. But I would add to that.
Well, I'm just going to say, since we have someone new, let's talk about the 3 ways to use essential oils.
Okay.
We're kind of all over the place today. But there's topical, which you talked about. very
You've seen
obvious.
us use.
You put it on your skin or where you need it. That's something where you might want to dilute some oils, because some oils are going to be a little either spicier or colder. Excuse me, I just burped because I drank. Another one. And then second is aromatic.
Which we saw me use the breathe oil way.
Right. You're breathing it in.
Or
You're
putting
either,
it in a diffuser.
If you put it in a diffuser, doTERRA has a lot of great diffusers, and that puts it in the air. And then there's internal, which is actually swallowing the oil. Most of doTERRA's oils are safe for that. Some oils like wintergreen are not. You should not.
It's really simple. If it has supplement facts on the side, it means you can use that oil internally.
Right.
If it doesn't, you don't use that one internally.
Yeah, it's meant you just do that one aromatically. There's just a couple that are that way for doTERRA. And anyway, so that's how you do it.
Now, Cadam Girl was saying that she's a newbie and that doTERRA's website is overwhelming because you're actually supposed to use us.
That's why we're here.
That's why we're here. So we teach these classes, but this isn't all we do. We are jumping all over tonight. We need to focus.
We got to get organized.
I know, it's us. We need to focus. If you want to get oils, you are not on your own. We will help you figure that out, which oils you should start with. And we're not going to say that you need every oil under the sun or some huge kit to start with. We're going to help you find what you're comfortable with, what works for you in your budget, but for your needs. And then once you get your oils, we're going to walk you through that. Some people don't want that. Some people are like, I'm good. I don't need it. I got the app. I got my oils. I'll ask questions if I need it. But some people want a little bit more help navigating, especially at the beginning. I know how that goes. I'm just learning how to make sourdough bread. And I am watching so many videos and texting my friend constantly about it. I know.
That's not true. She made some amazing sourdough bread today.
Well, it's a little bit. So I'm in that phase. So I get it. So we are here to help you, Rebecca, and to help you, Cadam Girl. We have done it with literally hundreds of people. And we love doing it. Actually, if we didn't love doing it, this would be a terrible job for us. Actually.
So what you need to do is if you want to talk about it more or just message about it, email us. Our email is in the description of this video, contact@northandsouth.com. That goes directly to us.
You can even schedule a call with me.
That isn't some whatever. We're not that cool. It's just us. Okay. So
oh, you mean we don't have
we don't have some assistant who's like, Megan and Mike will get back to you some other time. It's it just comes to my email. Anyway, so just email us and then we'll start talking about it.
Yeah. But those tools like the app,
but
classes like this should get you started.
Yeah. There is a link also in the description below that goes to our little doTERRA website. If you're a little more, comfortable with it, just go there, go to the become a member, and you work your way through getting some oils.
Okay. Rebecca,
Barbara's asking you about sourdough recipes now.
Oh my gosh. All I'm thinking about right now. It's a little stressful.
We need to do a sourdough class.
I think I'm going to put my starter in the fridge and say I'll see you in a few days because it's all I did today.
Yeah. Megan has been immersed in sourdough.
Okay. Ray said, wish we were allowed more than one Serenity stick a month. I hoard it because after applying it to throat, chest, and back of neck before sleeping, I realized I wasn't getting nightly acid burn.
Whoa, wow. That's cool. doTERRA does have to limit some of them because there's only so much oil in the world.
Because people like Ray want to hoard them.
Yeah.
Me too. And that is part of our sustainability. If there's an oil that you can't buy more of, it's because there's a product in there that if they bought as much as the demand, you would strip forests, of that product. So we have to take it slow to protect these, farms and forests and things.
Do we want to go through the basic oils here? Do we have time for that? It's been 48 minutes.
Okay, so doTERRA also, what's really nice is the kits aren't random. The kits are designed...
Kits with a T, not kids like our kids.
Mm-hmm. Our kids are
pretty random.
But the kits from doTERRA, the enrollment kits, are not random. They are built for people who are new to get started to give you basic oils. 2 of the kits have the exact same 10 oils.
Whoa.
Is it still called Family Essentials? I don't think it is.
It's a very good question.
Megan. It doesn't matter. It looks like this. It might have a different word written on there.
Also, different markets, different countries have different names.
It's missing one, but it has these 10 oils because they're the 10 basics. And next time we will go over these 10 basic oils. Yeah. We do it pretty often. But you can also get another kit that has the same 10, but at their full-size bottles. So they have 3 times more.
And I can see through this.
Oh my gosh, you're so
pretty
dorky.
Cool.
So this is just, they have them smaller so that you can get started for a lower price, Or if you're like, I've got some more wiggle room, you can get 3 times as much. It's not 3 times the price.
Yeah.
So these kits are designed to give you just a really good collection of oils. Kind of like when you're buying paint for becoming an artist. They'll give you like the colors that almost everybody uses. And then you can kind of add in and curate your collection for the needs that you have in your household. Or if you can start that from the beginning, but I know that can be overwhelming. So they have these kits, and there's a few others that have specific needs, but these are just kind of, this kit and that kit are just your 10 basic oils that everybody's going to need. And that if you look something up in your app, guaranteed one of these oils is going to be in there,
right,
in the what you can use to treat that issue, because they're just really powerful oils that everybody should have.
Correct.
Okay.
What was I going to say? Yeah, so that's part of what we do. If either you can do your own research or you can talk to us about it, and we can help you figure out which kit might be best for you.
Yeah.
So
we have every oil from doTERRA, just about. We sometimes run out, but we don't use every oil. So that is not necessary. That's just because as we share oils and teach classes, we want to have experiences.
Yeah,
with
over
all
time.
Yeah.
We've just collected all of them. And
that's just what we have as somebody who teaches these workshops. But that's not necessary for you. You can curate your collection that will help you and be cost effective for you. And we can help you do that. We do it, and we've done it so many times over the last 13 plus years. So.
Yeah. And I will say just real quick, doTERRA does have some fun specials this month. If you sign up for the first time with a wholesale account, which you can buy either retail, which means you just go to the website and you pick out 2 oils and you buy it just like you would any other site you're ordering from. That's one way. Or if you buy wholesale, which means you have a wholesale account, kind of like a Costco membership, you get everything at a wholesale price. If you open a wholesale account this month
which is 20% less.
Right, 20% less than the retail price. So if you're going to buy any more than 2 bottles of oil, it's always worth it. And also, I think they're waiving the wholesale fee.
So it would be like joining Costco, but not
free.
Have to pay the Costco membership.
Yeah. So if you buy essentially $100 worth of oils, which any one of these kits would get you there, and then you were to buy another $100, and we can explain more of that on the next one, because there's $100 versus PV. Doesn't matter. Anyways, you buy another $100 next month, you get $100 credit in March on your account.
Yeah, they did this back in the summer, and it was amazing.
Yeah. And so you basically get $100 for free by doing those 2 orders, essentially. So
now I want to address really
and
quickly.
Also, wait, if you haven't ordered for a long time, I think if you're someone on here who has had a doTERRA account from a long time ago and you haven't ordered for over a year, and you reactivate your account, you get the exact same deal. So just a thought.
And if you haven't had one with us and you want to reactivate with us, we would be happy to have you.
Yeah, totally.
I will just one more thing. I will address the cost of oils.
You're pushing me around here.
So this bottle of peppermint is about, was it $22? I think somewhere around there. Looks like it's like not my hand.
Whoa.
Looks like it's your hand.
It is my hand. Hello. I want some oil.
Sorry. Sorry. It's because it's flipped for us, so it's kind of weird. This oil right here, this bottle is $22. And when I was first new to oils, I thought that's kind of expensive for such a small thing. And I know other people felt that same way, like, you paid $20 for this little thing? In this bottle of
How
oil,
do they talk?
You paid, that's the husband's voice.
Oh,
you paid $20 for this little thing?
The husband's always have a problem with it.
But there are 250 drops of oil in this bottle. Each drop has the same chemical intensity as something like 25 to 30 cups of peppermint tea. Very, very potent. You are literally using a drop at a time. 250 drops. So this can last you many, many moons. And so you have to think of it like this is bulk. It's small, but oils are so potent that this size bottle is bulk. We have oils that we have had literally since we started with doTERRA 13 years ago that still have oil in them, because we don't use them as often. And then we have bottles of oil that we go through probably one every few months.
Well, when you have a lot of kids.
Yeah. And so I want you to understand that this seems expensive, but it's not because it's precious or because it's a ripoff. It's because it's bulk. There's a lot of administrations. What is that? You're going to get a lot of doses out of this, right?
You could
'Cause you're
administer
using-
a lot of it.
Yes, you're only using a small amount each time.
Totally.
So,
Sarah, how do you reactivate? Email me.
and Mike will give you a link so
contact@northandsouth.com.
you can do it.
I'll help you do that. So yes, just email me because yes, you can reactivate.
And then I'll end with my favorite blend right now that is hitting the spot. I don't know why, but I have been adding, when I put in this is just for fun. I'll do a fun thing like this at the end every time. Something I'm loving.
What are you loving?
We do the laundry, we have a little pull-out drawer, and we put the soap in there, and then I add a couple drops of sandalwood and a couple drops of lime. And then I close it, and it makes our laundry smell not sandalwood. Patchouli and lime. I don't know why. Patchouli and lime smell so good together. I have added sandalwood a couple times. So I have started to wear patchouli and lime or patchouli and bergamot right behind my ears too, because it's wintertime and I'm not getting sun on them. It smells so good. I'm loving it.
Yes, oils are a great perfume.
Yeah,
as well.
so check that out.
Or
loving
cologne.
it. Ray, you could also make your own stick. Did Ray? Yeah, you said that. Make a stick with lemon pepper and sandalwood. You can actually buy from a company called
Aroma Tools.
Or what's the other one? Oil Life.
Yes.
The empty stick canisters you can
You
mix.
mean like a chapstick kind of thing, or
yes, chapstick or bigger. You can heat up that raw coconut oil, put the oils in there that you want, pour it in there, put it in your fridge till it cools down, and you've made your own.
Well, and this is what's fun too with oils. There's all these things now that you can make, and there are companies like Oil Life or Aroma Tools that sell all the little canisters
it's
and
so
all
easy
the
to spend
containers.
money.
Yeah, I know, it's really, and you can get into making all your own products or your own healthcare, whatever, not healthcare, but
so not
personal
just
care
soap,
stuff.
but your lotions and your like bath bombs and your like little perfume kits and your like romantic oils and so all
Those are
sorts
my
of stuff.
favorite.
Oh yeah, I know. Mike would spend any amount of money to make those. Okay, so those are fun. I love it. You guys had great questions tonight. We're gonna do this again next week.
So come back again. We will actually go over these oils specifically. doTERRA has a lot of products too that are essential oil based but aren't essential oils alone to kind of target specific things or to build some of this base health, some great supplements. We plan on going over a lot of those things too moving forward to help you understand that stuff. Also, we will be doing every once in a while a class about the what's the word?
Sharing oils.
Sharing oils. This is a great way to add another stream of income for your family. If you're wanting to earn a little bit more every month and also teach about oils and that sort of thing.
Just diversify.
Yeah, we have a couple, 2 or 3 different businesses that it's nice to have that multiple stream. So anyways, we may have one class a month that talks about that as an option for you or your family.
I want to just say, Lee asked, will the oils get rancid if not used for a long time? Well, like many oils would literally, if you kept them in a cool, dark place, like a cabinet, would literally outlive you. And some of them would last like 1,000 years. Citrus oils break down more quickly.
Would the cabinet last 1,000 years?
Yeah, I know. The cabinet
That's a question.
There was honey found in King Tut's tomb, but also oils. Still good. Their citrus oils break down more quickly, like 5 to 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
But the best thing is just don't put them in your hot car. We have them in our hot car, and we still use them, and they're fine.
We keep peppermint in there pretty much.
They will it actually will start to break down the bonds, and so they'll get kind of weird if you've got them in a hot window or something like that.
And if you have little kids, you should always keep peppermint in your car because car sickness, peppermint is the best for that.
So we've got them in drawers, we've got them in cabinets, we've got them in bags.
We got them all over the place.
On shelves. We just don't. We try not to
them.
put them in direct sunlight and in heat. So on the back of the stove, that wouldn't be a great place for them.
Right.
And Karen, yes, there are some certain things about pets and essential oils, but it's not as hard as you think. There's a great lady on Facebook called like the Essential Oil Vet or something like that, and she's
veterinarian.
She's got
not military vet.
No.
Okay.
That's true. Because she might have wondered.
Yeah, we don't want to get mixed up about that.
Yeah. The kids are doing great. super great. They're the best part of our lives, Roberta. Okay.
All right, is that it?
That's it.
Wow, we go in a whole hour. Well, thanks for coming. And once again, go to the link below if you want to email us, contact@northpointsouth.com to ask your questions or help you go through the process of enrolling and starting your.
And don't feel embarrassed.
Your account.
I am somebody who needs my hand held when I'm trying something new. We totally get it, so we can help you do that.
Right. Or you can just follow the link below that goes to our little doTERRA business site that you can open your account or buy some oils there as well.
Or watch any of the videos on this channel that.
All right, we've done a lot of other videos, but we're going to keep doing new ones because it's funner that way, and that way we can interact with everybody.
Answer your questions. Thank you.
All right,
everybody.
that's it. Okay,
It was a good time.
Yeah, that was fun. So have a good night. Be careful out there, and make sure if you haven't seen it, go watch our other video, the one that we just posted about finishing the bathroom. We are super happy
Super
to
happy.
have our own bathroom. Okay, see you later.
Bye.
Bye.